James chapter 1 verse 8 continues the thought introduced in the previous verses, further elaborating on the nature and consequences of doubt. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. This verse provides a profound insight into the psychological and spiritual instability that doubt can produce within an individual, particularly within the context of their faith and relationship with God. The term double-minded is particularly striking and reveals much about the inner conflict that doubt engenders. In its original Greek usage, the term implies a division of mind, suggesting a person who is split in their loyalties or convictions. It paints a picture of someone who is perpetually in a state of internal conflict, unable to decide which path to follow or whom to trust. This division is not merely an intellectual dilemma, but a profound spiritual crisis that can affect all areas of a person's life. The concept of being double-minded can be applied to various situations where faith is required. When faced with trials, as discussed earlier in the chapter, a double-minded individual might waver between trusting in God and succumbing to despair. When making decisions, they might oscillate between following God's wisdom and relying on worldly advice. This indecision is particularly damaging because it prevents the individual from fully committing to the path that leads to spiritual growth and maturity. Instead of progressing in faith, the double-minded person is caught in a cycle of uncertainty and stagnation. The subsequent phrase, unstable in all his ways, amplifies the consequences of being double-minded. Instability here refers not just to occasional fluctuations in behavior or mood, but to a fundamental characteristic that defines the person's approach to life. It suggests that the instability is pervasive, affecting every decision, relationship, and commitment. Such a person might find it difficult to maintain a consistent course in life because their foundational beliefs are constantly shifting. Without a steady and firm belief system, every wind of circumstance or new idea has the potential to throw them off course. This instability is particularly concerning because it undermines the individual's ability to receive from God, as discussed in James chapter 1, verse 7. If a person cannot firmly believe, they cannot fully receive the blessings that faith is meant to unlock. The spiritual life of a double-minded individual is marked by a lack of peace and certainty, which are replaced by ongoing internal turmoil and confusion. This state not only affects the person's spiritual well-being, but can also spill over into emotional and relational aspects, creating a life that lacks harmony and effectiveness. The teachings of James here are both a warning and an invitation. The warning is about the dangers of allowing doubt to take root in one's heart, leading to a divided allegiance between God and the world. The invitation, however, is to strive for a single-minded commitment to God and His promises. This single-mindedness is not about the absence of questions or uncertainties about life's events. Rather, it is about where one ultimately places their trust and loyalty. Achieving this level of commitment requires deliberate effort and discipline. It involves nurturing one's faith through regular engagement with Scripture, prayer, and fellowship with other believers. It also involves the conscious rejection of thoughts and attitudes that lead to spiritual division and instability. Practically, this might mean choosing to meditate on God's promises when faced with doubts or seeking counsel from mature believers when uncertain about a decision. Moreover, the community of faith plays a crucial role in helping individuals overcome double-mindedness. Through teaching, encouragement, and accountability, the community can support its members in developing a firmer, more consistent faith. This support is invaluable because it helps individuals not only to recognize the signs of double-mindedness, but also to take practical steps toward becoming more stable and single-minded in their faith. James chapter 1 verse 8 challenges believers to examine the depth and consistency of their faith. It highlights the dangers of double-mindedness, presenting it as a serious spiritual condition that leads to instability in all areas of life. By understanding and addressing the root causes of this condition, believers can work towards a more stable, confident, and effective faith life. This pursuit of single-mindedness is essential for living a life that is fully aligned with God's will and capable of receiving all that He has to offer.